Have you ever found yourself standing at the crossroads of life, asking, what now? At 60, life shifts. What used to feel like a race slows into a thoughtful walk. But with this shift comes profound questions. Is family the unwavering support we imagined? Can wealth truly buy peace? Or is there something deeper, more enduring, that sustains us? Imagine standing on a quiet beach at dawn. The ocean whispers ancient truths, and the sand beneath your feet feels steady yet shifting, a metaphor for life's transitions. What holds us steady through the tides of time? Today, let's uncover 5 timeless pillars inspired by Zen and Buddhist wisdom that will transform how you view life after 60. These pillars aren't just philosophical ideas. They're tools for resilience, fulfillment, and joy. But before we dive in, I want you to ponder this. What is the one thing you've relied on most throughout your life? And will it still serve you in the years to come? This question may just reveal the foundation of your next chapter. Imagine sitting inside a warm, sturdy home while a storm rages outside. The wind howls, rain lashes at the windows, and yet, within those walls, you feel secure. The foundation of that house doesn't falter, no matter how fiercely the storm roars. This is what inner peace feels like. A sanctuary, built not from bricks and mortar, but from your own sense of calm and resilience. It's a feeling we all long for, but too often overlook in the chaos of life. And as we move into the later chapters of our lives, this quiet sanctuary becomes not just a luxury, but a necessity. Inner peace is not something you stumble upon. It's cultivated, shaped over time, and strengthened through intentional practice. It's a bit like tending a garden. You can't control the rain or the sun, but you can nurture the soil, pull the weeds, and plant seeds of serenity. The wisdom of Zen teaches us this through the simple yet profound truth. Do not seek the flame of comfort from others. Light the lantern within yourself. At 60 or beyond, life tends to quiet down in some ways while growing louder in others. Responsibilities may shift, and the external demands of earlier years might wane. But within us, questions can arise like whispers in the dark. What's next? What's my purpose now? These moments of self-reflection, though daunting, are the perfect opportunities to find and nurture your inner peace. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She's a woman who has faced immense public scrutiny, pressure, and personal challenges, yet she radiates calm and strength. How does she do it? Oprah often speaks about her daily practice of meditation and gratitude, describing it as the anchor that keeps her grounded in life's storms. Through her example, we see that inner peace isn't about escaping challenges. It's about meeting them with a steady heart and a quiet mind. The first step to cultivating this sanctuary within yourself is mindfulness. Imagine sitting quietly, your eyes closed, focusing on nothing but the rise and fall of your breath. The world around you continues in its chaotic rhythm, but you are present, rooted in the here and now. Mindfulness is not about stopping your thoughts. It's about observing them, like watching clouds drift across the sky. You don't chase them, you simply let them pass. By practicing this daily, even for 5 or 10 minutes, you train your mind to find calm amidst the noise. Another key to inner peace is accepting impermanence. Look around you, nothing lasts forever. A flower blooms with radiant beauty, only to wilt and fall. Seasons change, children grow. Even the moments we treasure most are fleeting. While this may sound somber, it's actually a profound gift. When we embrace the transience of life, we stop clinging so tightly to what we cannot control. Instead, we cherish what we have, here and now, like the short-lived beauty of a flower. Each moment becomes more precious when we realize it won't last forever. Letting go is perhaps the hardest and most transformative practice of all. We often tie our happiness to outcomes. If this happens, I'll be happy. If I achieve that, I'll feel fulfilled. But what if things don't go as planned? True peace comes from releasing our grip on these attachments. Imagine planting a tree. You can water it, nourish the soil, and give it sunlight, but you cannot force it to grow taller or bear fruit on your timeline. Your joy must come from the act of caring for the tree, not the expectation of its rewards. As you reflect on these practices, imagine what your life might feel like if you could carry this inner peace with you. Picture yourself waking up each morning, not burdened by the weight of what you can't control, but grounded in the serenity of simply being. It's a shift in perspective that transforms how you experience life, bringing clarity, gratitude, and strength to every moment. The beauty of inner peace is that it doesn't depend on external circumstances. It's not about having the perfect house, the perfect family, or the perfect career. It's about creating a foundation within yourself so strong that no storm can shake it. And once you've built this sanctuary, it becomes a gift not only. Imagine a gardener in a quiet field at sunrise, gently watering each plant with care. They kneel close to the earth, observing every leaf and root, knowing that a neglected plant will bear no fruit. This simple act isn't just about tending a garden. It's about nurturing life itself. In many ways, our bodies are like this garden, a living, breathing temple that houses our spirit. Yet, how often do we tend to it with the same devotion? Too often, we push our bodies to the brink, ignoring their needs until something forces us to pay attention. But what if, like that gardener, we chose to nurture ourselves every day, not out of fear, but out of respect and gratitude? In the teachings of Buddhism, balance is the key to a well-lived life. Health, too, thrives in balance. It's not about chasing extremes, starving ourselves with punishing diets or overindulging in fleeting pleasures. Instead, it's about walking the middle path, where care for the body and mind intertwines. This isn't always easy in a world that glorifies hustle and indulgence in equal measure. But perhaps that's why finding this balance is so transformative. Steve Jobs, a man synonymous with innovation and success, once reflected on health with profound clarity. Despite his wealth and accomplishments, he recognized the irreplaceable value of health, especially as he faced the end of his life. In his own words, all the money in the world couldn't buy him more time or restore his vitality. His reflection reminds us that health is wealth in the truest sense, not a luxury, but the foundation upon which everything else is built. Taking care of your body doesn't require dramatic changes or endless sacrifices. Sometimes, it's the simplest habits that make the biggest difference. Consider movement something so basic, yet so powerful. Imagine your body as a finely tuned instrument. It thrives when played with care and intention. Whether it's a morning walk as the sun rises or a gentle yoga stretch before bed, these small acts of movement breathe life into your muscles, joints, and mind. Picture yourself stepping into nature, the earth firm beneath your feet and the air cool against your skin. Each step connects you to the present moment, reminding you that your body isn't just a vessel. It's your partner in life's journey. What you put into your body is equally important. Food isn't just fuel. It's medicine, energy, and even joy. Think of a vibrant plate filled with colorful fruits and vegetables, each bite nourishing you in ways you can't see but can feel. Contrast that with processed meals that leave you sluggish and disconnected. It's not about never enjoying a treat. It's about making choices that honor your body more often than not. Imagine the strength you feel when you nourish yourself with intention, knowing that every meal is a gift of health and vitality. And then, there's water. It's easy to overlook something so simple, but water is the very essence of life. Picture your body as a river, flowing smoothly when hydrated but slowing to a trickle when ignored. Each sip is a promise to your cells, keeping your skin radiant, your energy steady, and your mind sharp. The next time you reach for a glass of water, take a moment to appreciate its purity and power. It's a small act, yet its impact reverberates through every part of you. Rest is another pillar often dismissed in our fast-paced world. We glorify productivity, wearing busyness like a badge of honor. But what if we saw rest not as a weakness but as a strength? Even the most successful individuals understand this. Jeff Bezos, known for building an empire, attributes much of his clarity and decision-making to quality sleep. He treats it not as wasted time but as essential maintenance for both body and mind. Imagine waking up after a restful night, your mind clear and your body rejuvenated, ready to embrace the day with energy and focus. But what truly ties all of this together is intention. Caring for your body is not about perfection. It's about consistency and love. Picture yourself as that gardener again, not berating the plants for growing slowly or needing extra care, but tending to them patiently, understanding that every small act contributes to their strength and beauty. When you move, eat, drink, and rest with intention, you're not just maintaining your body, you're honoring it as the temple it is. As you sit with these reflections, imagine the life you could lead if health became your priority, not out of fear of illness, but from a place of respect for the incredible gift your body is. Each step, each sip, and each moment of rest becomes a way to say, I choose life, and with that choice, you give yourself the strength to not only face challenges but to embrace every joy that comes your way. Because when your body thrives, so does your spirit. Imagine a wise farmer, standing in the golden glow of sunset, carefully gathering seeds from the fruits of a bountiful harvest. Each seed is handled with care, placed into a pouch, and stored for seasons of uncertainty. The farmer knows that while today's harvest is abundant, tomorrow's skies may bring storms or droughts. These seeds are not just a plan for survival, they are a promise of continuity, a safeguard for freedom. In the same way, financial independence is about preparing ourselves for the unknown, building a reserve that protects not just our basic needs, but our dignity, choices, and peace of mind. In Zen teachings, there's a profound saying, prepare your resources as the river readies its banks. A river's flow is steady because its banks hold firm, directing the waters with care. Without strong banks, even the most powerful river would spill into chaos. Financial independence is much like those banks, offering structure and security that allow the flow of life to continue unimpeded. This isn't about amassing wealth for wealth's sake. It's about creating a life where you can move forward with purpose, unburdened by the constant weight of financial worry. There's a story I often think about when considering this idea: J.K. Rowling's journey from financial hardship to unparalleled success. Before the fame of Harry Potter, Rowling was a struggling single mother, living paycheck to paycheck and wondering how she would make ends meet. Yet, even in those lean years, she focused on her passion for storytelling, managing her resources carefully and prioritizing what truly mattered. When success finally arrived, she didn't squander it on extravagance. Instead, she built a legacy through mindful decisions, philanthropy, and a life centered on purpose over possessions. Her story reminds us that financial independence isn't about having more than others. It's about having enough to live in alignment with your values. Living within your means is the cornerstone of financial independence. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness lies in the next big purchase, a larger house, a newer car, or the latest gadget. But true contentment often comes from simplicity. Imagine the peace of walking into a home that feels cozy and lived in, not cluttered with things bought on impulse. Think of the joy in using what you have fully and mindfully, rather than constantly chasing what's new. Living within your means isn't about deprivation. It's about freeing yourself from the cycle of consumption and finding satisfaction in what you already possess. Creating an emergency fund is another essential act of self-care. It's like planting those seeds for a rainy day, an act of foresight and kindness to your future self. Life is unpredictable. A sudden medical bill, car repair, or a shift in income can throw even the most stable person off balance. But with a cushion of 3 to 6 months of expenses, you have a safety net that allows you to face these challenges without fear. Picture the relief of knowing that you've planned ahead, that no matter what storms come, you have the resources to weather them. What's perhaps most transformative about financial independence is the freedom it grants to prioritize experiences over possessions. Imagine taking a trip to a place you've always dreamed of, standing on the edge of a mountain or by the sea, feeling the wind against your face and the thrill of being alive. These moments stay with you in a way that material things never can. Traveling, learning a new skill, or spending time with loved ones create memories that enrich your life far beyond the fleeting joy of a purchase. By focusing on experiences, you invest in your own happiness and growth. Investing in long-term goals is the final layer of financial independence. It's about planting not just for the next season, but for the seasons to come. Think of it as tending a tree that will one day bear fruit for future generations. Whether it's saving for retirement, supporting your children's education, or contributing to a cause close to your heart, these investments are acts of hope and commitment to the life you envision. They remind us that financial independence is not just about the present moment. It's about ensuring that the future is one where you can live fully and freely. As you reflect on this, picture what financial independence could mean for you. Imagine waking up each morning with the freedom to make choices not out of fear, but out of love. Picture a life where your time and energy are spent on what truly matters, where your resources are tools for joy and purpose rather than sources of stress. This isn't a distant dream. It's a reality you can build, step by step, with intention and care. Financial independence is not about having it all. It's about knowing you have enough and living in a way that honors that truth. Like the farmer saving seeds, you're not just preparing for the future, you're creating a life rooted in stability, freedom, and grace. And in that, you find the kind of wealth that truly lasts. In a quiet monastery tucked away in the mountains, a monk sat weaving a blanket as his hands moved deftly, threading strands of fabric together. He looked up at his student and said, "A single thread cannot make a garment, but many threads woven together can provide warmth." The student, puzzled, watched in silence until the monk smiled gently and added, "This is life. It is not meant to be lived alone. It is the connections we weave with others that give it warmth and meaning." The monk's words carry a truth that resonates deeply. Our relationships are the threads of our existence, binding us to one another in ways that offer not just comfort, but a sense of purpose and belonging. And yet, as we grow older, those connections often begin to shift. Family members move away, friendships change, and the busyness of life sometimes leaves us feeling untethered. But this is also a time to reflect, to strengthen the threads that matter most, and to weave new ones with intention. In Buddhist teachings, there is a concept called Kalana Maitra, or spiritual friendship. These are not the casual acquaintances or fleeting interactions of daily life. They are the deep, meaningful relationships that uplift and inspire, grounded in mutual respect, compassion, and a shared commitment to growth. A true spiritual friend sees you for who you are and walks beside you, not just in moments of joy, but in times of struggle. These connections are rare and precious, yet they are within reach for all of us when nurtured with care. One of the most beautiful examples of such a bond is the friendship between the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Despite coming from different faiths and continents, their connection is rooted in a shared purpose: spreading love, compassion, and understanding. They laugh together, challenge one another, and hold space for each other's wisdom. Watching their interactions is like witnessing two rivers meeting, distinct, yet flowing together in harmony. Their friendship reminds us that meaningful relationships are not about similarity, but about shared values and a willingness to truly see and support one another. To cultivate these kinds of connections, it's important to prioritize depth over breadth. In a world that often values social media followers and wide networks, this can feel countercultural. But consider this: would you rather have one person who truly knows your heart or 100 who barely know your name? Imagine sitting with a friend who listens not just to your words, but to the silences in between, who asks questions that make you feel understood and cared for. These are the moments that matter, far more than the surface-level pleasantries we often exchange. Compassion is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. It means showing up for others with an open heart, ready to listen without judgment and offer support without expectation. Think of a time when someone truly listened to you, not to respond, but simply to understand. How did it make you feel? That is the gift of compassion, and it's something we can offer freely to those we care about. Imagine the impact of being that safe space for someone else, the person they know they can turn to in their darkest hours. But as we nurture these connections, it's also essential to recognize when certain relationships no longer serve us. Letting go of toxic ties is not an act of cruelty, it's an act of self-respect. These are the relationships that drain your energy, cloud your spirit, and leave you feeling diminished rather than uplifted. Releasing them creates space for healthier, more nourishing connections to flourish. Picture a garden choked with weeds. Only by clearing the space can new growth take root. It's a difficult process, but one that ultimately brings clarity and peace. Once we've created space, we can focus on being a source of encouragement and joy in the lives of those who matter most. Celebrate their successes, no matter how small, and be there to support them in times of need. When a friend accomplishes something, share in their excitement wholeheartedly. When they stumble, remind them of their strength. These small acts of kindness and encouragement weave threads of trust and love into the fabric of your relationship, making it stronger with every interaction. As we move through life, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that relationships are static, that the people in our lives will always be there in the same way. But relationships, like rivers, are constantly changing. They require care, tension, and a willingness to adapt. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, watching it flow. Sometimes it's calm, other times turbulent, but it's always moving, always alive. Our connections are like this too: fluid, dynamic, and endlessly rich when tended with intention. Think about the relationships that have shaped your life. Who has been your constant, your anchor in times of uncertainty? Who has challenged you to grow and become better? And just as importantly, who have you been this person for? These are the threads that bind us, that keep us warm even when the world feels cold. And the beauty of life is that it's never too late to strengthen these threads or to weave new ones. As you reflect on this, consider how you might show up differently in your relationships. Could you listen more deeply, with fewer distractions? Could you express gratitude more often, letting those you love know how much they mean to you? Could you make space for a new connection, or rekindle an old one that's faded over time? Each of these actions, small as they may seem, has the power to transform the fabric of your life. And in doing so, you not only enrich your own existence, but also become a source of warmth and light for others. Because at the end of the day, life is not measured by the possessions we accumulate or the accolades we achieve. It's measured by the connections we create, the love we give and receive, and the threads we weave together to make something beautiful. Imagine standing beneath a tree that has lived for decades, its roots deep in the earth, its branches reaching skyward. Even now, in its later years, the tree continues to sprout new leaves, each one a symbol of growth, renewal, and vitality. This image is the perfect metaphor for lifelong learning, the constant stretching toward the light, the refusal to stagnate, and the understanding that growth doesn't stop. No matter our age, life is a journey of discovery, and the pursuit of learning is its most enduring fuel. There's a Zen saying that resonates deeply: when the mind stops seeking, the spirit begins to wither. It reminds us that curiosity and growth are what keep the soul vibrant and alive. This doesn't mean striving in the way we often did in our younger years, chasing success or validation. It means allowing ourselves to remain open to the world's endless lessons, embracing each day as an opportunity to explore, create, and connect. Think of Nelson Mandela, a man whose life was a testament to this truth. Even in his 70s, after enduring decades of imprisonment, he continued to approach life as a student. He spent his later years learning from those around him, engaging in dialogue about reconciliation and peace, and sharing his wisdom with future generations. His example reminds us that learning is not just for the young. It is for anyone who wishes to remain engaged with life's profound beauty and challenges. There's a quiet joy in taking up something new, no matter your age. Perhaps it's painting, your hands exploring the feel of a brush against canvas, translating your emotions into colors and shapes. Or maybe it's gardening, digging your fingers into the soil and marveling at the miracle of a seed becoming a flower. You might even decide to learn a new language, savoring the sounds of unfamiliar words and the connections they open with people from different cultures. Each of these endeavors is like adding a fresh leaf to the tree of your life, proof that growth is always possible. Beyond personal enrichment, learning often leads to a greater sense of purpose when it is shared with others. Volunteering is one of the most powerful ways to find this sense of meaning. Imagine teaching someone to read, watching their eyes light up as they grasp a new word, or helping to build a community garden that feeds both the body and the spirit. These acts of service are as much about your own growth as they are about giving back. They remind us that we are part of something larger, that our lives are interwoven with the lives of others. Purpose doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. It can be as simple as pursuing a passion project, a hobby or dream that brings you joy. Perhaps you've always wanted to write poetry, your words capturing fleeting moments of beauty and truth. Or maybe you love baking and find purpose in creating something delicious to share with friends and family. These projects don't need to make you famous or wealthy. Their value lies in how they connect you to yourself and to the present moment. Gratitude is another thread that weaves learning and purpose together. When we pause to reflect on the meaning behind our actions, we see life not as a series of tasks to complete, but as a tapestry of experiences to cherish. Consider how each small step, whether it's learning a new skill, lending a hand to someone in need, or simply expressing kindness, adds to the richness of your days. Gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us see that purpose is not something to find but something to create through the way we choose to live. At 60 and beyond, life offers a unique canvas, one where wisdom replaces haste, and meaning takes precedence over superficial pursuits. This stage of life is not a time to retreat but to reimagine, to explore the possibilities that come with freedom from earlier constraints. You are no longer bound by the same expectations or responsibilities, leaving you with the space to focus on what truly matters. This is the time to nurture your spirit, to polish the mirror of your soul. As a monk once told me, the beauty of lifelong learning and purpose is that they are deeply personal yet universally accessible. They don't require wealth, status, or perfection, only a willingness to engage with the world and with yourself. Each moment spent learning, giving, or creating is a step toward a life of greater depth and fulfillment. And the best part? There is no finish line. The journey continues, as infinite as the sky stretching above that ever-growing tree. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, what lights you up? What have you always wanted to try but never found the time for? Who might you inspire through your actions? And how can you make your days more meaningful? These questions are not just for pondering, they are for living. Take that first step, however small, and watch as it leads to another, and then another, each one a new leaf on the tree of your life. In the end, the measure of a life well lived is not in the achievements we amass but in the love, growth, and purpose we cultivate. Let your spirit remain curious, your heart open, and your hands ready to create. With every new endeavor, you fuel not just your own journey but the light you bring into the world. And that, truly, is the greatest gift of all. Now that we've explored these 5 Zen pillars, inner peace, health, financial independence, meaningful relationships, and lifelong learning and purpose, I invite you to reflect on your journey. Think back to the storm outside the house or the seeds saved by the wise farmer. Each story holds a mirror to our lives, urging us to ask, have I built my foundation strong enough to weather life's changes? But here's the beautiful truth. It's never too late to start. Every breath, every step forward, is an opportunity to cultivate these pillars. Inner peace isn't a destination, it's a practice. Health isn't about perfection, it's about care. Financial independence isn't wealth, it's freedom. Relationships aren't quantity, they're quality. And purpose isn't something we find, it's something we create. Imagine yourself years from now, surrounded by the fruits of your intentional life. Perhaps your health allows you to play with your grandchildren, or your financial independence lets you travel to the places you've always dreamed of. Maybe it's the joy of nurturing a friendship that deepens with every shared story, or the quiet satisfaction of mastering a new skill. All of it is possible because you chose to embrace these 5 pillars. Before we part, let me leave you with one final question. What legacy do you want to leave for those who follow in your footsteps? The life you build today becomes a guide for those around you, a ripple of wisdom that extends far beyond yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to Lotus Light Teachings for more reflections on life, peace, and purpose. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What pillar will you focus on today? And remember, every day is a chance to begin anew. You hold the lantern. The path is yours to illuminate. Until next time, may you walk in peace, purpose, and profound joy.